for a Storm to deal with, since Storm generally gets in pretty close to go for the last hits with the Remnant. So mid one's going to try his best to zone out Storm Spirit here. But for now, it looks like Tusk is headed back towards the bottom lane.
All right. I'll find a Dandy. And down over here in the bottom lane, in July, just going to be pictured out a little bit on his Slardar. Obviously needing to be very careful just in case there was any rotation in from the Tusk, spotting that movement down there. But Piledai doing a good job of zoning him out and just going to keep spamming the Poison Touch.
Well, Puppy's back mid, so he wants to keep on bullying this Storm and making sure that Troll has a good time here. CS-wise, it looks like no big edge going either way just yet. Ricky's continue to be annoying. Leech the Axe experience, try and take some last hits here and there if possible. Not the easiest thing to do because of the spin damage, but definitely something he's trying to contest if possible.
And even just denying away any of it the possible, but down bottom, a bit more damage onto In July. Fine Dandy backs out, and they're all good. This Venge Spirit being in the position 1 role, how do you feel like that sort of translates into the later game against this lineup? Like, are Secret really going to be in trouble if this drags out for too long?
It scales pretty well. It's very tanky is the main thing with the core. Venge is a very heavy hero, partly because of the talents, but also a big just the way you build the hero, going for Mantas, Skardis, whatever you need. You build heavy stats, you tank up. And similarly, the Trollers as well. And I think having a lot of stats is important against the Slider lifesteal. You want to have high armor to negate some of the physical damage. You also want to have high HP to survive that Slider lifestealer bomb coming onto you. So it's definitely a necessary type of hero to have in the safe lane role. You can't run a squishy carry against Slider lifestealer. As far as how it's going to scale, it'll do fine because it's ranged here against lifesteal. If anything, I'd look at the lifesteal as a hero that's going to struggle to scale as much going late game because he will get kited eventually by ranged core heroes in both Troll and Venge. Tusk, pretty good as far as kiting goes. You've got Ice Shards, you've got Snowball, very annoying in general. And Puppy's going to itemize towards like Solar Crests, Force Staffs, all these annoying items for Lifestealers to deal with.
Oh, dog fights there. Just giving a quick couple touches to the Axe, and with the rotation in as well from Super, they might be able to draw First Blood very low, but not going to die. 18 HP left over at the end there.
Yeah, that was very close. Ricky just needed one more right click. Unfortunately, one of the lower movement speed heroes in the game, and doesn't quite get there in time. So will be an avoided First Blood for Kezu.
And maybe a bit of a storyline going on down here. If Injalai could find a kill, this would be very big for him. So far, he's been pretty heavily pushed out of this lane, hasn't been able to get a lot of farm. Axe, in the meantime, has been able to go over to the jungle. So maybe the Injalai lack of farm in this game is going to be something to come back to. But the Snowball mid, doing some damage, turns for a Remnant, and, well, the Shard's not quite going to block him off. And with that, they aren't going to be able to find that kill.
TP from Super to make sure it goes okay. And Storm does have a couple bottle charges left still, so will be able to rejuvenate himself, use his Shrine, hot pot himself back up if he needs to, but it does look like lanes are kind of stabilizing as both mid lanes will use their by Shrine. So that kind of evens things up, Storm as well as Troll. And CS-wise, it is a very slightly Troll-favored CS battle so far, largely due to the Tusk's influence here.
Yeah, and it feels like Kezu might just be one of those games where he goes off. Already a ton of farm. Granted, some of that was in the jungle, but again, in comparison to that Slardar, it's been a little bit rough.
Yeah, Slardar in the Coral has the same as far as experience goes, but yeah, not going to be... as far as the race to the Blink Dagger, you're looking at Kezu completing a Blink well before a Slardar does, assuming this game continues at this same pace, where both teams are just kind of farming. It could develop into a scenario where Slardar wants to try and gank pre-Blink Dagger, which is typically what happens because you've got Sprint and Crush. You can maybe level 4, level 5, roam around on the Slider just using your Sprint as a gap closer. So I think that's where I'd like to see IGVs in July kind of look to move around the map a bit, take advantage of the fact that Axe is just going to be jungling and not helping his team.
Okay. We'll have to watch how that evolves. Ricky, again, just going to walk through and maybe soak up a bit more of this experience. Piledai also in the area, so there's no real danger there of a kill at all. And it does sort of feel like this is a hero on Ricky that you would want to get a little bit more out of the early stages. Do you think that IG Vitality are feeling okay with their early game at all? Or
Yeah, Ricky's done enough. He's been very annoying for the Axe. Partly why Axe isn't as higher level than the Slider while farming is because of the Ricky just sitting around leeching, harassing. He blocked a camp spawn there, and losing one big camp spawn as an Axe. Like, those spawn only every 2 minutes, so that makes a big difference. It may even bait out a sentry ward, thinking that it's been blocked or something. So I like the play from Dogfights. It's hard just to have it's hard to get those kills as Ricky. He came very close on the Axe. He went for some pressure at bottom lane. He's doing all he can, and now he's going to scout a ward. So it's all these small little things he's doing which add up. Knowing where the enemy wards are, keeping the Axe low level, sniping a courier would be great. He has a blink strike, but isn't going to go for it. Perhaps was slightly lacking the damage there. Not sure if that blink strike would have been enough. And it's just constant like poking, harassing from dogfights so far. All it's going to take is one big opening for him to find that first kill, but Silence is not like a great ganking partner, so he's kind of has to act independently with his cores to find those kills, and that's where he couldn't quite get the job done with Slatter at bottom. Storm needs to get level 6, so until Storm's level 6, you're not looking at a great rotating potential, so he's getting enough for now.
Okay. Well, another little shards gets thrown out there. 3 heroes in the bottom lane. It looks like they want to try and pressure down this tower, at least still some damage. Do we see a rotation coming in from the side?
Yeah, should see a defense of this. 3 heroes already down bottom.
Stun. It's already down. The crush. Oh, able to get dodged there by the snowball. And the secondary shards goes out as well. First blood is going to be drawn. Pylai picks that one up, and IG Vitality just need to back out of here.
That Shadow Wave. That was on, I want to say, 4 units next to the Slatter. It did like 300 damage with a level 2 Shadow Wave nuke. Slatter melted. Sometimes sprint can work very much against you because of the additional damage taken, and we saw it there as the defense of the bottom tower. They'd already defended it and pushed Secret back, but then they went for more. They went for the chase. The crush misses. Even if that crush lands, I don't see it going any better for IGV. They're never going to get a kill there. They may have perhaps survived, but it was a bad chase to begin with.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of nerve showing there in the early stages. Want to get something done, but it will end up just being a first blood drawn. Very passive start to this game so far. Everybody just kind of wants to get those items up, and eventually we'll start to see some more rotations. Who do you feel like is maybe a bit more under the gun in this game?
For IGV, they want to, I guess it's kind of like a race to get that first key item up. IGV looking to, not so much in like a race to get something done right now, but once they have the Lifestealer infesting into either Storm or the Slatter Blink, they need to be very active, fighting constantly, whereas Secret can perhaps play a bit more farming, and they're going to naturally scale better into the late game. But even though Secret scale better in the late game, they're also much stronger right now. Not having to worry about a Blink Slatter. The Lifestealer doesn't have armlet, so if he infests into someone like Storm and starts ganking, he's not dishing out all that much damage just yet. So I think for now it's like Secret, they're able to play aggressive, and that's great for them because they can just constantly look to scale late.
Oh, dogfights. Nice little play there. Able to dodge away from the dust and then also jump to troll the escape from that kill that could have come his way. So still fine and dandy. The tower goes down bottom, and just like that, Secret off to, again, a really nice start to this game for themselves.
Yeah, MP's been very effective on this safe lane Venge. As far as just getting good farm. He was solo for a little bit. The Pylai went off to help the Axe. Tusk was helping mid. So he even had like a 1v2 lane when the Ricky came down bottom for a little bit, but he's maintained his farm. He's pressured the tower. He's done everything you'd hope a safe lane Venge can do, which is be somewhat self-sufficient, and then also when you bring supports down there, push the lane, take the towers. So because of picking a self-sufficient hero, they've been able to find farm on Kezu, but unfortunately, he's been found.
Up here in the top lane, they do have Dazzle there for the Grave, though, so keeping him alive for the moment, going for the TP, and, well, with no way to break that one, they're just going to escape.
That's such an important save. He was very close to blink. 1,800 gold. Kezu was dead there, if not for that Dazzle allowing him to Grave TP, and that's definitely a limitation. You look at this dire lineup, the stuns really only come from the Slatter Crush. That's your initiation. And a Storm Pull, theoretically, later on is another option, but getting away there thanks to the Grave TP, very, very important.
And they did it just about as perfectly of a rotation as you could have had. You know, Ricky going for the TP, Lifestealer jumps inside for the immediate infest, but just not able to make it happen as of yet. So let's see what that timing is going to be when we actually have the big rotation for the kill. Just a Shrine use now, and maybe back to farming a bit more.
Yeah, they have a Smoke on Silencer as well as a level 6. That's where, for IGV, it's the big, I mean, with their strength, but also their weakness is this Global Silence. This is the spell that is going to prevent these saves. The Dazzle Grave, the Venge Swap, the Tusk Snowball. Every time they use that Global Silence, they need to be killing a core, or ideally using it in a team fight to win a big fight. But like bare minimum is you've got to kill the Troll, the Venge, the Axe, one of those 3 heroes using this. Like right now, you'd love to use it to get a kill on the Axe. So, I mean, you want to kill the Axe without it, but if you have to commit it, it's worth killing this Axe pre-Blink Dagger. Unfortunately for them, though, Kezu just 100 gold away is going to dip back into the jungle and probably complete that. And that's where Secret gets strong and scary. They are very effective at forcing towers, pushing now. They have a great amount of physical damage between the Troll and the Venge, and the initiation of the Axe is something to be feared.
Now can he do that another time? No, it's not going to happen. They find the kill on him. Just a flurry of stuns, and he evaporates over there by the Shrine. A huge kill.
Yep. Looks like with all the heroes at mid lane too, they can just take down this tier 1 tower, at least get some good damage onto it. So it really feels like IGV not getting much done with their lineup. The lack of stuns and just the inability to really truly pressure Secret's lanes is costing them. Kezu's just free farmed away, got his Blink Dagger up. He's ready to join. He's probably telling his team, like, guys, I got my Blink, I can initiate top. This is now the last tier 1 tower. There's already 2 tier 1 towers, about to be a third down. Just 11 minutes in this game. Secret are playing very fast tempo right now.
And I mean, you have this Desolator that's conceivably going to come online eventually for Paparazzi, but you think about later game as well, and you've got Dazzle who's going to be able to get the armor additional as well with his weave, so I don't know, feeling very scary as a movement comes down towards the bottom lane. They want to try and take down mid one. The jump in, they get the pullback, the stun is going to follow up as well. Can they get the TP in time to save? And they just need to back. Pylai dies there, no luck.
Didn't want to commit for it. Didn't have the damage, and knowing Dazzle's TPing in. If you want a global there to stop the Grave, you could potentially get the kill, but mid one had 1 charges and a haste rune. Similarly, I think Silencer was like short 10 mana to even use his ultimate, so they backed off fast, and it's a wasted gank attempt down bottom. Perhaps they can make up for it up top. Dogfights is fishing around. He misses Puppey. Okay, maybe he's going back and it did spot him out. Yeah, Puppey will walk into him.
Oh, they end up jumping into him there. The silence comes out as well. Puppey does manage to get the snowball off. We'll see if this ends up translating into a kill. They do end up getting him.
Yeah. To me, the worry with IGV's timings is you typically want Lifestealer Stein to get active, infest around, go for these kills, and be successful around his armlet. But because Slider doesn't have a blink, Storm has kind of had a rough time and wants to keep farming, he's not ganking with armlet. He's actually just using this armlet to keep farming, looking for his Deso.
Paparazzi in some trouble. The jump-in call, it's going to connect. Can they get there in time? Global Silence comes out, so he's going to be able to turn onto this if they want to rotate some more heroes in. They manage to find the stun, pull him back in as well. Troll finds the kill. Great combo.
And this early Helm of the Dominator gives him a Ogre Frostmage. So they've got Ice Armor to push with, which is a great counter to the Slider amp damage, the Lifestealer. There's almost entirely physical damage coming out.
Dogfights manages to get the jump away and is going to be able to walk out of sentry range. They place another one though, and still getting a lot of heals here. Dogfights trying to TP away, very ambitious, and is not going to get it. They find the kill with the last hit from Puppey.
Secret is just tearing through IGV right now. A single kill on a support Tusk is all IGV being able to pick up. Items are just rolling in across the board. The TP in from Paparazzi is known by Secret, but they just feel like they've got a scary enough 5-man. They can force these towers. They know that without Global Silence, there is nothing IGV can really do to engage in them. This is a cooldown that Secret are going to look to punish every time it's used. They've still got 70 seconds without Global Silence, and I expect we'll see perhaps at least one more Tier 2 tower falling during that time.
Just taking out the enemy. Jungle now as well. It's just all gone wrong for IGV through this laning stage. How do you start to turn this back around? Like, do you need to wait for that next global before you can fight, or?
Slider's Blink, which is just now completed, a bit later than they would have liked. It's one of those games where I feel like as much as you want to fight around the global, I think you have to start taking some risk and try and find those infest ganks with the Slider Lifestealer, even when global's on cooldown. Try and isolate a target, figure out who's alone. We've seen mid one farming alone a couple of times, like earlier at bottom lane. Try and get those kills nice and fast. And with a Blink Dagger, but also a Desolator, it looks like. I think Lifestealer is, yeah, he's got the Desolator coming out very soon at least, if not now. He's going to be looking to fight. Okay, 1,000 gold away. He's going to be looking to fight with that, and then the burst damage gets ridiculous.
Oh, they do get the jump in onto Troll, but just to get off the axes first. Still mid one in a lot of trouble there. They get the snowball save, and the Shrine not going to be enough to keep him alive. Walrus Punch turns now onto Paparazzi, the follow-up crush, and looks like the rest of IGB are just going to try and back out of here. Maybe they continue to take the fight. They're very grouped up. The jump forward, Sakta is going to be able to get a couple hits off, but needs to back out here before he ends up dropping. So...
Swat. Oh, MP. He was mid-cast.
Oh, my God. They get the call. Kezu's got him. This is a trouble now, and he ends up going down as well. IGV, this is feeling like a very strange fight to take, but they're going to go in for the crush. They pull back in one. Is it going to be enough? Kezu is going to drop. Still just a very awkward place to fight here.
They've got such good vision on the high ground with this ward, so they're going to keep looking to fight.
All right,
No
right
shrine
clicks coming
available.
through. MP, they get the crush as well. Grave is there. Can they keep him alive? Stormkid jumps in. They are going to be able to find him. Nicely played. Sakata playing it well, and this is the turnaround they needed.
Yeah, that's the kind of fight they've been looking for some time now. They didn't even have global silence. I think that really shows what IGV have to do, which is find that quick pick. And Tusk TPing in, if that's a Dazzle, perhaps it goes very differently. But if you get a Grave instead of the Snowball off there, the Grave keeps him alive for long enough to get to that shrine, use its regen. But the Snowball, it gave him maybe like a 1 second window where he wasn't taking damage inside the Snowball. He couldn't quite get himself to that shrine in time. He popped it, but got no benefit from the regen and ends up going down. So very close to saving him was Puppey, but the ideal scenario there is it's Pyla Die TPing him with a Grave. So good outcome for IGV. They want to just keep on fighting now. They've got global up again, and Secret, I think recognizing that like the initiator's advantage is like the big thing deciding some of the fights there. That was IGV taking this out of the fight. They smoke up and want to be the ones kind of starting the next big play here. They're going to use the smoke to go for Roshan, not a kill. Try and take advantage of the fact they have all this physical damage and can kill this incredibly fast. There's no real easy response for IGV. They're just not in the neighborhood. They pop the scan on top of Roche, but only now, once Kezu steps outside, does it reveal anything.
Oh, and now just going to have to back out again. A little bit of a problem there as, oh, the jump in, the crush, they're able to catch him. The counterplay is going to come out as well, and stunned up Paparazzi just has to back out for the moment, and swap back in. He's in a lot of trouble. Super, try and save him. There's just no way at all, though. Dogfights throws down the silence onto several. Sakata there as well. The ulti comes out, and it looks like they're going to be able to pull back in the Slardar as well. They take down another. Puppey ends up dying. Injali able to get the crush, and that will secure his escape. Dogfights will fall, though. Finally, a 2-0 score.
I mean, not horrendous for IGV considering they're fighting into an Aegis, but they're losing their life stealer. They're killing like supports, so it's an Aegis still in a Troll Warlord. Immediate response to that from Secret is like, well, they just used global silence, lost their life stealer, we can just push right into that. And that was with the Desolator timing a life stealer, so that's perhaps supposedly one of his big peaks, especially in a lineup like this where you've got two good initiators in Storm and Slardar. You've got a Riki as well. You're meant to be very strong when you hit that Deso, able to burst heroes down incredibly fast, but the first fight with it backfires, and now Secret can look to take this last Tier 2 tower. They can't go for the Shrines after that until they've taken a Tier 3, but theoretically there's even Tier 3 sieging potential from this lineup. MP's going to have a Dragonlance soon. Troll Warlords, just the SMY level 13, the Battle Trance damage. There's a ton of physical damage coming out from Team Secret.
Well, and it does feel like there's sort of been a bit of a swell in terms of IG Vitality's ability to take these fights. You look at the net worth across the board, things are looking a little bit better. Is there anything else, a big timing for these heroes where you start to be able to fight more effectively and maybe take a bit of a timing advantage over Secret?
Item-wise, they have more items coming. The Bloodstone and Storm is perhaps one of the bigger ones, but these aren't items that are going to suddenly make fights a lot easier for them. If anything, fights get harder for them. Once BKBs and Mantas come up, that's where their lineup kind of fails because they've got a way out of the global silence, a way out of like a Slardar amplify damage. So you've got to find a way to make the initiation work at this point, and that's without a global silence. And mid one with an Aegis in the front lines, not the hero you really want to engage on. So smoking, catching the back lines, that's going to be the key thing here for IGV.
And they're very well positioned right now. Injali was looking for initiation dogfights there as well, but they just could not find it. Everybody really well spread out, and now Secret with Weave up as well. They're going to start hitting this Tier 3 tower. Well, jump, able to get the crush. The snowball save, though, turning it right back around. They get the global out, and Sakata jumping in as well. They've already taken down Kezu. A nice start to this fight for them. Going to pull back in another. Can they convert onto this? Looking like it's going to happen. Grave comes on to Pylai. Injali gets a dash as well. They are able to take down Fog, so, and looks like Super's going to go down as well. A double kill for Sakata, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough.
Mid one's got an Aegis still. He's not being touched the entire fight. It's really the only way they had to engage. Jump the axe with the global silence. The snowball came out just before the global, but didn't end up saving him since everyone else was silenced after it. But
now the snowball pulling him back in. Stun on the Storm, and he's going to end up dropping. Killing spree. The swap back in as well. Caught Paparazzi. This life stealer. Can they bring him down as well? All those stuns have already been used. Injali tries to get a stun out as well, just to create a little bit of space so the life stealer can back out and away. Storm Spirit jumps back in, trying to take down one. Is going to be able to find a kill there, and maybe a bit more. It does look like, at least for now, Secret is overextended and will be punished for it.
does seem like with the buyback and the low respawn on the Storm, they'll get a key couple of kills here. That, I mean, it slightly salvages things. They hold their racks. They get the Bloodstone charges back on the Storm post-respawn, so at least Storm's not been too... He hasn't been hit hard. Like, often if you die right after getting that Bloodstone and then get nothing on your respawn, that first respawn in, like, the 20-minute stage of the game is so crucial for a Storm because you're lower level then with, like, 12 Bloodstone charges, you respawn within 10-15 seconds. You've got to make use of that, and that's exactly what IGV do since Secret are pushing up to their base. It was... I mean, it started absolutely horrifically until the buybacks came in, but... At least the good news is they get the catch heroes on the retreat, and they killed the supporting cast. Like, Pilot Eye going down early meant there wasn't the sustain, there wasn't constant heals, there wasn't a secondary grave coming into play. Puppey also didn't have his Solar Crest, he had just the medallion there, but next fight's only going to be harder now with the upgrade to the Solar Crest, so we'll see how things go as far as Secret go, because they can actually just push down this bottom lane now. Even with Global Silence coming back up, they may just feel like they're the stronger team.
Oh, no, and just walks into a Sentry Ward. You got to do this as Ricky. Make moves around the map to try and open up a little bit of space for your team, but comes at the cost of your life every now and then.
Yeah, no real mistakes made there by Ricky. You're not expecting a Sentry Ward that close to the enemy Tier 1 tower. He's just fulfilling his job as a Ricky, and fortunately means he's down 20 seconds, but it does look like Secret are going to slow it down. And hit the next item timings, which, as mentioned, is probably going to be those BKBs/Mantas. The BKB for Troll, Venge, could go either way. I want to say the BKB just seems like the better option as far as just being able to fight into all of the, like, through the smoke cloud and everything. Like, if you try and Manta, you're still in the smoke cloud. You may still be unable to use spells, so the BKB is going to be the scary item that comes out for Secret, and that's where Global Silence, Smokescreen, even the Corrosive Haze may get repelled by that, and you lose a lot of your initiation if you're Team Secret.
Now they want to group up and go for a smoke here. It was in the backpack, so just on cooldown for a second and maybe make some type of a play, but it does feel very hard to actually take down anybody from Secret. There's so many saves at this point.
Yep. Well, Global Silence is back up, so that's how you get rid of those saves. But now Shrines are actually accessible. So while they didn't get the racks, they got the Tier 3s.
Wow.
Paparazzi gets a Hyperstone, so the AC for him is looking to be his next big item pickup. Boosting his damage output, also help him survive against all that physical damage from Secret.
It's actually a smoke that comes out from Secret. It does feel as if IGV realizes this is happening, though. They're staying back, and it's just to secure the second shrine.
No, that's it. I'm not immediately dewatered. They know where the Riki was. And yeah, there's nothing IGV can really do to force things
All right.
too easily from the low ground there.
Let's take a look at this. Dream fight for IGV. How does this play out here? What's the big saving grace? How do they pull themselves back into this one?
Blink, initiate on the axe. Like the bottom lane was the right idea. You want to take out the axe first, at least in my mind, with the global silence. So you blink, crush the axe, burst him down with the lifestealer, and Storm with an Orchid goes on Dazzle.
Okay.
I think Dazzle is the other key hero to bring down as early as possible in the fight. There's no real answer to the BKB troll. Ignore the troll. That's a hero that just don't look at the troll. Don't have anything to do with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, initiate on the axe with the Slaughter. Initiate on the Dazzle with the Storm.
All right. Well, this could be it. A big blink crush. No, they aren't going to get it. Not quite in time. Did he? That was a really weird engagement. And now Riki is in no man's land. Dogfights does look to be able to escape. He's just going to walk away, but
that's not the ideal fight. We tried to paint
that
the
was
picture
not
for,
the fight.
I'm like, I'm picturing him like, okay, this could work. This could be beautiful. And then whoa.
No, please.
I didn't see this. I guess something canceled.
Tusk is going for an Aghanim Scepter, by the way. Thoughts?
No idea. Not a Tusk player. Warrior's Kick. Why not?
Yeah.
Another save or something.
He just wants to boot him around. It's kind of interesting against Lifestealer. It does do damage now. Pierce's BKB kicks them, I can't remember how many units, like 1,200 or something crazy. Kind of interesting. I don't think we're going to get to see it, though, this game.
Yeah.
Something tells me this might be over pretty soon.
Yeah, I know the spell's been buffed a bit, but I'm not totally sure how viable the Ags is. My hunch is that he's getting it just because they are pretty far ahead. Otherwise, normally you see Puppy go for like more utility items, but I guess after the Solar Crest, his job's done. He's got a Dazzle. His cores are doing fine. Doesn't need a... If this game was closer, I think we'd see him go for an item that gets him out of Global Silence, be it like a Lotus Orb or something himself.
All right. Well, here we go.
It's a good position for in July. Problem is everyone's weaved up.
Now this is feeling quite rough, and well, they are going to jump immediately. Nice swap away, as well as the Grapes. They're not going to have two of their saves, at least for the moment, and BKB Troll, they're right on top of them. Sakata trying to pull down and see if he can kill off MP, but it's just not going to happen. He is far too tanky. Two already dead for IGV, and Secret just going to storm the high ground here. No regard for IGV's life, and good game well played comes out. It's over.
Well, well-executed draft from Secret. I like their approach as far as having the last picture Warlord really brought everything together, made the Venge a lot stronger. Running the Venge as a core against against the Slaughter Lifesteal duo, I think is a just good kind of core hero to have. You're not going for something too squishy. You're going for something early mid-game oriented. Right. They had a really good laning stage. I think Secret had a very good overall strategy and approach to fighting into this Slaughter Lifestealer with a Global Silence backing it up.
Yeah, and you talk about these two teams. The panel was discussing it earlier as well. IGV, a team that plays really well together as a squad, and then Secret has a lot of just individual talent and have been able to build that relationship. It's felt to me like Secret looked really cohesive this game. There wasn't a point where they were, out of position really, and maybe Slacks is right. Dare I say it?
Yeah, I mean, Secret, at least as far as competitive play go, have had more practice recently, and that's, I think, showing a bit. DAC, they had very tough competition and didn't get the result they were perhaps looking for, but Secret is a team that, at least based on this first game, showed a good ability to adapt their draft to what they were seeing. Like, Slaughter Lifesteal first two reveals a lot, but it's also
And then back for game number 2, IDV facing off against Secret.